Welcome to Meanwhile at the Museum, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes with the people, stories, and shenanigans that make Cincinnati Museum Center what it is. I'm Cody Hefner, and I have to say my last name because even though I worked directly with our guest for the first 2 years I was here at the museum, I mean, every day worked with you.
You're never going to let me live that down.
It was like 3 years ago. I walk up and I say, "Hey, Charisse, who's our guest today? Can you print some tickets out for this?" "Yeah, Cody." "What's your last name again?" And like, "Charisse, you trained me when I started."
Break. Like, I just could not even. I just had a block. I was like, I can't even think of his name. And your badge was turned around, and I was like, oh my goodness. Because I wasn't going to ask. I was just going to look at the badge.
I don't walk around and act like you should know who I am. But Charisse, you should know who I am. Like, we worked together. So our guest is Charisse Lawrence. She is our Director of Guest Experience, which you're training yourself on.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But how long have you been here?
25 years in December.
25 years?
25 years.
You started when you were 2?
Yeah. I'm waiting for my parking spot also. Putting it out there.
Tell us where you want it is. Speak it into existence. So, because we've known each other, I've not been here 25 years. My gosh, 25 years.
I feel like you've been here, 10 now? At least?
Almost 13.
See?
Almost 13.
After 10, just stop counting.
but we know each other well, so there's going to be no structure to this. Speaking of treats, I remember.
Are you going to say Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces is one. Charisse always had this necklace that was orange, yellow, and brown, and they just look like giant Reese's Pieces.
I wore it like 3 weeks ago.
Yes. You still... So we work together in our visitor services department, guest experience team now. When I first started, so this is 10 to 13 years ago.
Shh, you're telling your age.
Well, it's okay. People already know
because
I stand up and they're like, "Oh, what's that sound?" "Oh, that's just Cody's knees cracking, popping off." But you used to wear the Reese's Pieces necklace when I worked with you at the box office, and like 3 weeks ago, I'm like, "Is that the Reese's Pieces necklace?"
Yep.
I mean, that's the longevity, the jewelry.
I mean, that's gonna be, until it breaks. And hopefully it never does. I put it up in my jewelry box when I'm done with it. And I'll pull it back out, wipe it off, put it on.
How do you... This is all audio, so people are all listening. But you're not old enough to have been here 25 years. So how have you been here for 25 years?
Because I started when I was 16, 1999.
Did you really?
Yeah. Sounds so long ago. When I got hired, I was a part-time temporary ticket taker for Holiday Junction. Very specific function. That was what I did every time I came in. It was downstairs, too, by Children's Museum. So actually, where the restrooms are on the green wall, that was the entrance to Holiday Junction.
Oh, was it really?
Yes, and that's where I sat at for the 8 hours or 7.5 hours. And I just tore tickets. There was a little pole, and you just tore the tickets and put this one side in the pole. Say, have a nice day. And I did that on Saturday, Sunday. And then when the school break was in, because I was in high school, then I worked, throughout the week. And then the next weekend, right after the holiday, they were like, "Oh my God, we're slow slammed. Can you come in?" And I was like, "I got plans today, but I'm coming tomorrow." And they were like, "Great, see you tomorrow." And that's where it began. And I just stayed on.
There have been a surprising amount of people who started out as part-time holiday helpers and have stayed on and are still here, still around. Was this your first job?
Yes, this was my first job.
Cincinnati Museum Center is the only job you've ever had.
Well, as I've gotten older, I've had other jobs, like where I've just worked part-time, I get extra money, but this is my only ever full-time job that I've ever had. Nobody trained me up on my skills. So if I go somewhere else and I'm bad, I'm going to blame it on Cincinnati Museum Center like they didn't train me right. So
come start here when you're a teenager and we'll chart the course for the rest of your career here.
Well, you can blame my family for that. So I have had several family members who have worked in this building and who have done several different functions. But my mom worked in public safety, and she was friends with Mercedes Spiegel, who was the director of the department when I got hired. And she was like, hey, my daughter needs a job, and Mercedes needed a favor. She asked my mom for the favor. My mom did the favor, and in return, she hired me. So it was a win-win for everyone.
It is. In 25 years, you're still here. So
And
it's
I'm still here.
a pretty good favor.
Yeah. My mom was in public safety. My sister worked downstairs in the Arts Consortium because that was downstairs.
This is at the bottom of the half steps.
Yes.
So
next to the library.
yes, if you're going to the Holocaust Humanities Center or the History Library and Archives, this was to the right.
Yes.
I remember this gallery when I started.
Yep. So it was a whole exhibit there. Ran off of art. They had other exhibit like social injustice type of exhibits as well. So my sister worked down there, and then I had uncles who worked in housekeeping. When it was UDF, I had a cousin who worked at UDF.
And the ice cream parlor?
And then that's the ice cream parlor now. And also I had like cousins who worked in food service, which Linda Gooseby, my aunt, her kid worked over at the food service, which is SSA now, but it wasn't SSA then.
So is your family tree shaped like Union Terminal?
It should be. It should be. We've had so many people. People are like, oh, you guys should just have started a family business inside the museum. And I'm like, basically.
Your sons are getting to be about that age to start. They're 25 years here, right?
Yeah, my son, my oldest is 18.
Oh, my gosh.
I had him in 2006. So right when I became a manager, I had my son. So I was like, right before that, I think all the like normal managers that were here, they like got other jobs and went to do their other passions. And so I was the only one really that could like jump in and help because there was only going to be one manager left. She was the director really, which was Cheryl Michaels. And she was like, hey, could you help out and do this? And I was like, sure. We were about to go into our busy season, which is like holiday. And I was like, if I could do this during holiday, I might as well just do it for forever. And that's kind of what happened.
See, when I started, yes, you were a manager. It was me and another woman. We got hired maybe a week apart or 2 weeks apart. And so I think there were...
Was it Juliana or was it somebody
No, this was
it
Sarah.
was Sarah.
Yes. And so we got hired kind of back to back. And it was like, Charisse is the big sister, though. Like, we're all managers, but Charisse is the big dog. So
been here for forever.
Yeah, it was. Charisse has all the answers. Charisse,
not really. I just wing it a lot. It just comes out right.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I really just tell people this job is really easy. You just have to be very like empathetic, compassionate person, and those are things that you cannot learn. You have to already have it, and so if you have it, it'll be easy for you. And I just kind of go off of that. It all works out.
You're right, because you're number one. You're managing people, which people don't realize how difficult managing people is, and that's.
You're managing their emotions.
You're managing their emotions, and everyone comes in. This is a small part of their lives. So other things that are going on is also swirling around their head. So you're kind of a part therapist or, sounding board for people.
I went to school for social work.
Did you?
See, yep.
There you go.
There you go. Yep. That was my whole plan. Like working here, and I actually when I turned 18, they were like, "Oh, you could be a cashier now," because back then. You couldn't do any cash handling. Even though I worked here, I was ticket taking the whole time until I turned 18. And then when I turned 18, I was a cashier for maybe 5 months. And the one lady, Emma, who was like a membership specialist, she left. So they wanted to hire somebody else, and that was a full-time position. So I took it. But I was also in school full-time at like college. I went to Cincinnati State. And I worked in the daytime, went to night classes, had my son, went back to night classes, and then I finally graduated. And then was like, oh, I'm going to take a year off to go back. I was going to transfer my credits to go to NKU. And then, in between that, though, I was offered the manager position. And then, so it's just been full-time ever since.
I'm going to stay more than arm's distance away when I say this. But it was always kind of a joke when I worked with you that Charisse is always tired.
Yes.
And But if you just pay attention to what you just said, that's why you were doing like 100 things at once.
Yes.
That's incredible.
I still do 100 things at once. And yes, I'm always tired. I get 4 hours of sleep, and I remember us having a like session, and during COVID time, we were all on a like meeting, and the lady in the meeting was like, if you get 4 hours of sleep or less, you're functioning as a drunk person. And Kelsey teams me and was like, Charisse, you're functioning as a drunk person every single day because you only sleep 4 hours. And I was like, sorry. I was like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Do you like running that much, or do you wish you could get more sleep? Or you?
Oh,
for
I
you, or
love
you like...
to sleep. Like napping, I feel like is a extracurricular activity for me. I love to take naps. I love to sleep, but my life just doesn't allow that when you have like children. And my youngest son, Ethan, if you know him, he used to refer to himself like, it's your boy Ethan. So that little boy, had him in 2013, didn't know what I was getting myself into. And he is always busy. He is very popular. And so him being popular makes me very popular, which I don't like that. And it makes me very busy. He's into everything known to man. And all his friends come over my house and like play and eat chicken nuggets and all the things. Play football. Yeah. A million times, chase the lizards that I have in my house. All
Wait,
the things.
Do you have lizards inside your house or like around your house?
They're outside the house, and there are a lot of them. They say they're Lazarus lizards, but these lizards are huge. And when I say they're huge, they are big. I don't think that these are not the ones we have in the back parking lot. That's for sure. I'm not scared of those. These are not the ones that are in Florida. I'm not scared of those.
The ones in the back parking lot are pretty cute.
Yeah.
They're just kind of cruising around the railroad tracks and they'll crawl down the walls.
Exactly. Mines are not like that. They're really big. And then one was really colorful. I felt like it was somebody's pet that just got out because it was very colorful. Like it was green and orange and gold. It was like a rainbow. I got a picture on my Facebook. Anybody interested?
The chicken nuggets they're eating, are they dino nuggets or are they just straight up nuggets?
We do dino nuggets. We do regular nuggets. We do Cane's nuggets. We do all the nuggets. Raisin Cane's.
Yeah, but can you buy those at the store and then cook them? Or you just...
No, we just have to go there.
Do you have a go-to nugget? What's your preferred nugget?
I mean, I don't eat nuggets.
What?
I don't like chicken nuggets.
You don't?
No, I'm a traditional, like... Chicken came from a chicken. It has bones and veins in it. I am that person.
You want it to like look like a chicken.
I want it to look, yes. I was like, yeah, I'm not really into like the strips, the nuggets, none of that. But, kids' taste buds. I feel like any kid 10 and under, their taste buds are not fully developed yet. They don't know what good food is. They don't.
I posted a picture once. When we did the Saucy Science video where Jacob and I were eating hot wings,
I needed to be there.
You laid into me for how much meat I was leaving on the bone.
Also true, because you can't eat chicken like that.
Give us a rundown on how you eat chicken wings.
I mean, I don't eat drumsticks. I like all flats. But if you're going to eat a drumstick, you got to get the meat at the top. Now, I've seen some pros eat it where they can put the whole thing in their mouth, twist it, and pull it out, and that bone is clean.
You can't do that?
I can't do that because I don't like drumsticks. But with the flats, though, I will kill a flat.
Can you bone scrape a flat?
I'm not going to put it all in my mouth because I'm a lady. But I'll get all that meat off that bone. That's for sure.
What's your sauce go-to?
Well, if we're talking like BW3s, I get the Asian zing, but I can go a little bit hotter because I do like spicy foods. My thing for spicy foods, if you're going to eat spicy foods, you might as well go big or go home. If my forehead is not sweating and my nose is not running, then it is not doing its job. I love to have the sweats if I'm going to eat hot stuff. Might as well just let me be sweating, do this, and we just move on.
I have hot sauce in my office. Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind is it? I don't do Tabasco sauce. It's got a nasty taste.
I'm going to go get 2 spoons and we're going to try this.
All right.
Hot sauce raw. All right. I literally did run out to get spoons because I didn't have any other food to put on. So we're just going to...
Gotcha.
It is Michael's Exotic Peppers, Black Garlic, and Ghost Pepper.
Oh, it's got that ghost pepper. That's going to make you sweat.
It says heat 10 out of 5. So this is a shout out to Jacob, because after we did Saucy Science, where we tried a bunch of different hot sauces, he's like, I got one for you. So I don't know how runny this is, or if I'm going to spill on the floor.
Let me smell it.
Are you just doing... we got like a teaspoonful.
Yeah.
Does it smell good?
It's strong. Smell it.
Yeah, it smells strong. Are we gonna cheers?
Cheers.
All right.
The whole thing, or are you just gonna taste it?
I'm gonna do the whole thing.
All right.
Are you?
Oh,
you're already in.
I am. It's hot.
I guess
it's about to make me sweat because I was already sweating.
Is it a good hot, or it gets to you a little bit?
It gets to you. It's in your throat. It's not bad. The taste's not that great.
It's making me hiccup a lot.
Here's the thing. I haven't ran and got something to drink, so it's all right. It ain't like those chips. The One Hot Challenge chip.
Did you do that?
Hell no. No. Now, that's a little bit too hot. But this is the right hot because I'm sweating. It's making me hot.
It would have been a lot better if it was on a wing or something and not a
True.
plastic spoon.
Yeah.
This isn't impacting you at all?
No.
I've not stopped hiccuping since we tried it.
But it's not like I can't control it hot, I guess. I don't know. My lips aren't burning. So I like to eat stuff that make my lips burn. And if my lips ain't burning, then it ain't that hot.
So, sticking with food, when you cook, what are your specialties?
So, I'm from the culture. You always got to have Lowry's in your kitchen.
Seasoned salt?
Seasoned salt. That's what we use. I have a lot of that in my house.
I don't even know what's in it.
I don't either. I get all-purpose seasoning, too, because I just feel like you need that. I don't try to use stuff with a lot of salt in it, even though seasoning salt, I got that. I usually use it when I cook my chicken. If I don't use, like, a Hooters batter or something like that, then when you put all the seasoning in your flour and you season it on the chicken, I use that.
I've never made fried chicken.
Oh, my goodness, Cody. Seriously?
Yeah. I've never done it. But are you... This is going to be a really stupid question. You're going to crack up. When you're battering it, it's not like you're doing kind of like you normally do. You kind of put it in like either buttermilk or like egg and then put it in the flour mix, or are you putting it in like a pancake batter type thing?
Neither. I'm putting it in flour, dude. Cause here.
You're just doing wet chicken and flour,
well,
shaking it up?
Well, you gotta season the chicken before you put it in the flour so it can have some seasoning on it. So I season the chicken and I let it like rest, because you gotta let it rest. Seasoning on both sides. Now, here's the thing. If you want it really crispy, you can put it in like wet batter and then dry batter and then wet batter. Like, you can do that and then like fry it. But for me, I don't want to do all that. So I do it dry. I season it, and then all the same seasons that I put directly on the chicken, I also put it in the flour. I put it in a bag so I don't have to get my hands too messy. Throw the chicken in there, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. It's coated. Drop it in the oil. Let it fry. It comes out crispy.
Are you breast, thigh, leg?
Wings. Only wings.
Really?
So in my house, I will make only wings. I only buy only wings, and I will pull them apart and give my sons the drumsticks parts, and I will eat all the flats.
All flats?
My oldest son trying to test me because he like flats too, and I'm like, why? Why? So I have to share sometimes.
He's got to get in line.
He does got to get in line. He sometimes, I think he's borderline vegetarian. He's having a hard time letting go of like pizza part, pepperoni and sausage, but for the most part, he don't really eat chicken, so I'm winning in that area. My other son, his favorite food is chicken. So all he wants is chicken every day. He will eat the drumsticks, though. That is his favorite part. So we good.
I don't know what my favorite is. But you don't do boneless wings.
No.
You want...
It's got to have a bone in. I don't do chicken nuggets.
I
only buy chicken nuggets for my son.
Have you ever done one of those giant turkey legs at like the Renaissance Fair or something?
We did when we went to Disney. But that was hard because like I don't know if you know my thing about food. I don't share food. I don't like to eat after people. And, like, so that was hard because I was like, we all can't eat off of this one thing. They're like, well, that's what it's made for. And I was like, well, we going to have a problem. So I ate what I could eat. And then I was like, I don't want no more because other people was about to dig in.
I tried it once, and it's a lot greasier than you think it's going to be.
It's supposed to be greasy. If it's not greasy, it's not right.
I know, but it's kind when I had it, it was like eating an ice cream cone in the summer. So you're trying to like lean forward and stick your butt out to eat this thing so you don't get it on yourself. You know, like those little.
You need a bib then, dude. You said stick your butt out so you don't get it on yourself.
You know.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to eat chicken with you. I need to see the experience. Let me tell you. You asked me what type of chicken. Only other piece of chicken I get is like when breast and thighs and stuff. I will get that when I'm going to make chicken salad.
And you like pull it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever just do the?
Well, usually I go to Kroger's and get like a rotisserie chicken that's already made and take the skin off. I will eat the skin because that's the best part.
That's where all the seasoning is.
Exactly. And then you pull the meat off and you make your chicken salad.
What about Thanksgiving? Are you doing the full turkey?
You ain't been to my house at Thanksgiving.
I haven't been invited.
Oh, also true. So here we go with this. I talked about that this year because we're so tired of eating the traditional Thanksgiving. So for my house, we don't do regular Thanksgiving food anymore. And when we used to go ham. We don't eat turkey over my house.
Really?
Really. We are a pork eating family and we will do ham. But now we eat whatever we want because in my house, we eat good food all year round. We don't just wait for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That's true.
So we eat whatever we want on those days. So this last Christmas and Thanksgiving, I had ribs. For Thanksgiving, we had ribs, macaroni and cheese, candy yams, and greens. That's what we had over at my house.
Do you bake the mac and cheese?
Oh, absolutely. That's the only way to eat it. Only way to eat it, dude. Not going to be mixing up that kind you get at the box.
What's the Easy Mac?
Yeah, you will never catch me eating Easy Mac. Never. My kids eat it, and that's when I don't feel like cooking because they can make it themselves. But I will never eat that. It's awful. I tasted it. It's not good.
So, do you want to talk about your work here at the museum, or you just want to? Should we keep going with food?
Either or. I like both.
Do you still like Snickers? I always remember you used to always come in with a Snickers every day.
I did. I don't eat
Probably
Snickers.
not every day, but
it was a lot. I remember that time now. Actually, I forgot about it until you just said that.
oh my god! Now I'm connecting all the dots. I think you were pregnant when you were doing that. That probably explains it. Because it was like, because we had another manager who worked in the box office with us, named Bobby, and he and I looked alike.
Yes, I love Bobby.
To a lot of people, Bobby is great. And he used to razz you all the time because it'd be like 9:15 and you'd be eating a Snickers.
Hey, look, it was breakfast of the champs. And it had, had nuts in it. Like,
aren't they promoting it now that Snickers has protein in it and stuff? So
I feel like
it's good for breakfast.
It was good. Yep. But I was eating Snickers a lot. I don't eat them at all anymore. But my oldest son, he loves Snickers, so that might have something to do with it. That's Elijah. But when I was pregnant, when you were working there, that was with Ethan. So he doesn't really like Snickers. So, but he loves candy.
Everyone loves candy. Why not?
Oh, he is you in a nutshell. He loves candy. I'm like, put that down. He's like, no, it's gonna give me energy. No, you don't need any energy, dude. You don't need any. You got all the energy. But my oldest son, he loves Snickers, and he'll like have him a little stash in his room.
So you're on the front lines. When people walk in the doors, they're coming to talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready in the morning.
You are. First thing in the morning, you're checking in groups. When you're here on a field trip, and you're running wild in the rotunda, or you're discovering that you can hear your echo, your chaperone is currently checking in with Charisse.
That's right. I'm getting it ready for him getting them all pumped up, getting them set off and be like, now go.
So with 25 years, like on the front line, seeing it through the guest's eyes, if someone's visiting for the first time, what tips are you giving them to, hey, don't miss this. Here's a little secret most people don't know about.
Oh, I don't give them any secrets. I tell them to YOLO, live their best life. They gonna figure it out. That's what I tell them. No, but really, I will ask them a little bit about their interests. And if they, tell me like they're into dinosaurs, or if they say, I don't know. It's the ones that say they don't know that I'm like, let's go nuts. So I tell them about everything, and then they always say, well, where would you start first? And I'm always going to lead them into the Science Museum first, and I feel like the cave is where they should just go and explore. Everyone loves that part, and they have the two, the wheelchair accessible one and the one that you can go with the steps and has water in there, all that. Water's kind of scary. I don't know.
Why is the water scary?
I don't know. I just got things about water inside places.
All right, that's fair.
It's not a tub, like not a pool.
You didn't expect to be walking through the museum and get dripped on.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying.
Exactly. I remember Free Fridays. Oh my God, going in the cave during Free Fridays, so much. Too many people, but they had lots of fun. Guests had lots of fun. On the other hand, I was nuts, but that's a different story. But then I always tell people to check out the Whispering Fountains. They love that. They're like, oh, how did that work? And I'm like, there's a plaque up there that explains it. But the dome, it's helping you out. And they're like, oh, right. And I'm like, you can actually do it without being in the corner. And they'll do that too, because you'll see people who do it wrong when you tell them to go in the corner, and they just go over to the entrances of the museums, and then they start yelling. And we're like, you don't even have to talk that loud. Just talk regular, and you'll hear what they're saying.
Just the shape of the rotunda. Sometimes when you're in there in the morning or at night and you're one of the only people in the rotunda, you just start hearing voices, and you look around, and you're like, okay.
You're like, who is that? Yeah.
Who's there? And it's someone all the way across the other side of the rotunda. And so you don't have to be at the fountains. The fountains, it's easy to direct people to.
Echo.
Do you have a favorite spot in the museum?
So
is it like, do you go through phases?
I go through phases, but I'm going to tell you this. My favorite spot in the museum is not in any of the museums. It's in the stairwell. That is the warmest place in this building. I'm very cold.
The stairwell's the warmest place?
No. But honestly, I don't really have a favorite place. It just varies through time. Every season is different. People I work with are different. People I work with is what get me through. So I visit a lot of people at their desk sometimes and just chat up for a little bit. Gets me through the day. And then I go on about my business. If I can make them laugh, have a good time for a little bit, then I'm out.
When you walk around and visit people, do you greet them as aggressively as you greet me?
Oh.
Because I'll see you in the hallway and you're like, Cody. I'm like, oh my God, what? And it's...
No, I just do that to you because
I'm like,
I know I can't.
I always think I'm in trouble.
Exactly. And I know your reaction is going to be like, what? And I'm like,
what
hey.
now?
Yeah. But no, I just I don't know. I just stop over and say, hey, what's up? And then we just start talking about stuff. Everybody's conversation is different because everybody is different. I have a different relationship with everyone. So
this is where you get back to compassion, empathy, and just being able to talk to people. And that's why you're good at what you do, is because people come in, they say, I don't know what I want to do. All right, great. Let's have a conversation. Let's walk through some stuff. Let me help you figure this out and point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I basically, I look at people, I look at their children, I'm like, who are you here for? You or your kids?
That's true.
Some people is real. Some people, they're just here for their kids. Some people, they're like, it's a family thing. We all want to have a little bit of everything. And I'm like, okay, well, here's what you're going to do. And, same way selling the OmniMax, like, are you there for the experience or are you there for the knowledge? Because which movie I tell you to go to, this is what you're going to get. So I just get a little bit about them, and I think I put them in the right direction. I've never had anyone come back to me and say, you sold us this, and this is not what we were looking for. So I feel like I do a good job at, reading their families, getting to know a little bit about it. And of course, when they just have small children, I'm like, go down to the Children's Museum. We got the turtles in a tank, like all that.
Knowing how much tickets cost, knowing what's where, when's the next showing of this Omnimax film, that's all the easy stuff. The harder stuff and the stuff that comes from being here and working with guests is figuring out, here's how you need to spend your day. Here, let me help you out. How old's your son? Okay, here's where you're gonna need to go first. It's kind of planning their day for them and making the experience fit for them, rather than just saying, here's what we have, like take it or leave it.
Right. I mean, I've known people where you get to be here for so long that you get customers who are like, I'm just gonna wait for Charisse to be available. We got a history here. She gonna help me out. So, and who would have known that guest would be the guest that I get every single time coming back to me, and coming back to me every time they come here. I'm selling them their membership every time or giving them tickets every time or whatever. So you also get that part too.
What's one of your favorite moments with a guest that you had? One of your favorite interactions?
Ooh, I don't even know. I mean, there's so many. I just really don't even know. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I knew you was going to ask me that.
How about, do you have a guest interaction where you walked away and you said, what just happened there?
Oh, that could be like many a things. Sometimes it can go like, I don't know what our communication was right there, but we just understood each other. I don't think we, like, I had times where I'm thinking like I'm talking about something totally different and they are talking about something else totally separate. Whatever it was, we understood each other and got the transaction done. And I will be like, oh my God, I don't even know how that worked out, but they bought tickets, they're happy, and I'm moving on because I'm like, we literally were talking about two separate things. I don't know. I've had interactions with deaf people where I don't know sign language, but they read lips well, I guess, and I write notes well, and we are communicating, and that was like great for them, and they kept coming back to me every time. That communication was something that I felt like was a struggle, but I guess it was okay because that day, that person, they only kept coming back to me. I guess maybe because I helped them and I already knew, but I feel like when I don't talk sign language, and that's what they use to speak, but we communicated very well, and they knew exactly what I was saying. They read lips very well. So I've had interactions like that turn out really good. I've had interactions with people's children. I think those are the best. I had a little kid come up and he was talking about he was going to go to the Lego exhibit and he was going to make all these things. And I was like, oh, great. I'm going to come down there and check it out. So when you come back, like, I'm going to go look. And he came back at the end of the day to tell me he was done and that I should go down there and check his stuff out.
That's awesome.
And I did. And it was down there. And it looked amazing. He was really good. I didn't think it was going to be that elaborate, but he was really good. Like, he did, like, a flower. And I think he did, like, some type of car. And that was down there. So
He knocked it out.
he did. I can't believe his parents actually stayed down there long enough for him to do that.
It is a transaction. Part of what you're doing is selling tickets for admission, but it's not just that. That's not the...
I'm selling them a whole experience when I give them my attitude. What you talking about?
I don't even need to say it. You already did.
I give them a whole experience because I try to be, like, happy and bubbly. From the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Obviously, though, some people come in with their own energy already ready. And so when they have an energy that is already, like, happy and, like, ready to be here, ready to get started, then it's easier for me to, be playful and kind of, like, engage with them. And it makes it easier because their energy is already out there. People who are a little bit more reserved, it's a little bit more hard to get them out of their shell, but it can happen.
But you have such an authenticity, such a realness to you, because you can't just fake it all day and just be happy and energetic with every single person. You also have interactions where sometimes you're just very real with someone, and people appreciate it. People appreciate not just getting the kind of standard, okay, well, everything here is wonderful. You need to do it. You say, hey, for you, don't waste your time with that. You're not going to enjoy that. That's not for you.
Yeah.
The amount of time you got, skip that. Let's do this. Does your kid even like this? All right. Go
There
this way.
is the one thing that I do, which I know like it's my job to like promote museum, but when they come up and I know that something does not fit their style, their personality, their financial status, I'm going to give them what they're looking for. So I'm not going to sell them anything that is not accommodating for them. I'm going to make it fit them financially, whatever their happiness, whatever educational thing that they're looking for, and I'm going to make sure that I get that done. There's a lot of things that sometimes people don't even know about and don't even ask about, and I will do that for them if I know that that is what they need.
Like if someone comes in and they have a 1-year-old and they say, we want to do everything. We want to do the exhibit. We want all the museums. We want to go to the movie. We want to do the exhibit too. And you say, oh, sure. How old your youngest? 1. Do you want to see this Pixar exhibit? Like, no,
Yeah.
not really. They're not gonna want it
give
back.
them
Or
the
like,
side eye.
it's kind of, how long is he good for? Oh, he'll be fine for a couple hours. All right, well, it's going to take you 5 to do what you laid out. So when's nap time? Let's book it around
Right.
this. It's not just, sure, and upsell. It's making the right experience for people.
Yep.
Which I think is really great.
We do upsell here, but we upsell when it makes sense, and we're more like I'm accommodate this family and give them what they need versus like just trying to upsell everything. Because the thing is, for me, I'm like, if I give you a great experience with that one on museum ticket, you're coming back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a good job. You're gonna come back, and I believe that happens multiple times. So.
Well, when I worked at the box office, I was always terrified that I would say, no, you have to go see this thing. It's really great. And they come back and they're like, I can't believe you sold me that. I didn't want someone to come back and say, you lied to me or like you sold me something I didn't want.
Yeah. I mean, I've done that before, and I like sold them the history museum. They definitely didn't want to do that. They had a little kid with them. Those people had an experience because I sold them something that they didn't think that they really wanted. They went in there and they were like, it's nothing in there. And I was like, oh, you missed everything. Let's go back in there. So I went over there. Mind you, I don't work in the history museum. I don't really know like too much of what was happening. You know, I know the exhibits and I know the book, like what I should say. But I went over there and I gave them my version of Drunken History, and it was amazing.
Drunken History because you're on your 4 hours of sleep.
Exactly. And they were like, oh, that's funny. Can you go with us to the Science Museum? I was like, yeah, I got to give breaks. But like someone else going to help you out. And I think I called like Graham or Bill. And you know they got the energy.
Yeah.
And I think it was actually Graham. He happened to be in the rotunda. And I was like, here you go. He's going to like take you around. And he didn't even know what was happening. I just did that. And he was like, all right, great. There was nothing to be said. He just took them in and did that tour of the Science Museum. And then they went to Children's by themselves. And it was the best trip they ever had after that. Like they thought they had the wrong thing, but we worked it out. And obviously that day it was not really busy because I had time to leave the box office and do that. Normally that's not really the case, but it worked out for those guests.
Something that there's no reason for me to ask, but I want to ask. We had a 90s themed 21 and up event recently.
Oh, yes.
And because you pushed for it, you wanted this at this 90s themed 21 and up event. One of the things at the cash bar was gin and juice.
Exactly.
Right? Did you wear a gin and juice?
I had my Snoop Dogg shirt. Yes, I did. And it said, ain't nothing but a G thing, baby, on the back. And it had rhinestones, blue rhinestones. And on the front, it had Snoop Dogg's face with palm trees in the back. Because, you know, he from California, Hollywood, L.A., wherever.
Speaking of that, because of the time you grew up, we both grew up, but we're talking about you.
80s babies.
Were you more of a Tupac or a Biggie person?
Oh, Tupac all day.
Were you?
Tupac all day.
You're
I mean,
all California love.
Yes, Biggie Smalls has some gems, but I'm more Tupac. Yeah, thug life. I had CDs. You know, back in the day, we had CDs. And Tupac, I had all the cuts, all the cuts. So yes, I'm definitely Biggie Smalls was good. take nothing from them, but I'm a Tupac girl. That's where I go.
Are you raising Elijah and Ethan on Tupac as well?
Absolutely not. My kids, oh my God, I have failed them. They know nothing about this. I don't even know what they listen to. They listen to YouTube and whatever is on YouTube. OMG. These kids, what they listen to today, I have no idea. To put this into perspective, my youngest son like played me something in the car the other day. He was like, it was him and his friend Landon, and he says, "Ma, you know this song?" And I'm like, "I don't know what this is." And then they were like, "It's Kanye West." And I'm like, "Oh, that must be his new stuff." And then the kid, his friend, he's 11. These kids are 11, and he says, Kanye was better in his older days. And I was like, yeah, back in the College Dropout season, that album, that's when he was good. And he was like, ooh, your mama know her Kanye West. And I was looking at them like, Kanye West is from my era. Like, you kids, I don't know what you listening to now. They listen to people like 21 Savage and I don't even know, Travis Scott. I don't know these people. Like, I know them because they, like, date Kardashians and things like that, but I don't really know their, like, music. And so I'm listening to The Wiz. And so,
like the OG Wiz? The Wiz? Yeah.
The radio station, The Wiz.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought you were talking like, who was, do you know what I'm talking about? The
You're
Wiz?
talking about the musical, right?
Yeah. Who was Dorothy?
Oh, I don't know. Here, I don't really like their costumes, so I don't pay attention that much. Because it was in the junkyard. So
Yeah.
I was like, this is not... I didn't like it. And all their costumes looked like the junkyard. So I was like, I can't watch this. But although Michael Jackson was in that, I feel like...
I think he was a scarecrow.
See? So...
Yeah.
But that was... Yeah. I don't know who played Dorothy.
All right, but you listen to the Wiz, the radio station, the Wiz.
Yes. And the kid Linda says, I'm going to take a snapshot of this because my mom listens to weird music in her car. And I said, oh, well, she probably listened to pop. I was like, I listened to some of those too. I was like, here's some other stations. He was like, no, don't change that. He was like, because Travis Scott is on your radio right now. And apparently it was a new song. And I was like, okay.
It's funny because a lot of radio stations will have stuff that you listened to when you were in high school, and then the next song will be what kids in high school are listening to right now. And you're like, no.
Yes.
I need a little bit of a transition between the two. Like, you just went from late 90s to the 2020s so fast my back hurts.
See, so I will listen to a lot of different things, but the number one thing I think I listen to when I'm like in my house and my kids are there are like old school music. Now Elijah, he will listen to old school music if it was before the 80s.
All right, so
or otherwise he can go straight to Juice World.
So you're saying old school music. What's your old school playlist? Who's on that?
Luther Vandross.
Lenny, you're talking.
I'm talking about
old school.
Yeah, Lenny Williams. Lenny Williams has one song and that I really, really like. And it's my favorite song in the whole wide world. It's super old. If you ever watch Kings of Comedy, Cedric the Entertainer does a performance with that song. So it's Because I Love You. That's the name of the song.
That Lenny Williams.
Yep, Lenny Williams. So that's my number one song. So I will either listen like old school where like New Edition and stuff like that. Otherwise, if I'm in my car and I'm coming to work and I'm by myself, I'm going to listen to a little bit of like Twerk Radio off of Pandora. And that's got all the hood songs, rap. I'm going in. But my kid's not in the car, so it's good.
Is it genuinely called Twerk Radio?
It's genuinely called Twerk Radio. Yep. If you come up to First Floor North on any given Tuesday, Wednesday sometimes, we sit at the puzzle table for a break. I might have some music going or something's happening. I play music every now and then, get the juices flowing.
So if you're seeing Charisse at the box office, just know that she drove in listening to Twerk Radio and I'm already pumped. Turned up.
I mean, the other day I got out the car and Kim was like, I like what you playing in the morning, and it was Rihanna. Work. So there we go.
I always joke with my wife, she's so mad that Rihanna won't release new music.
She out here having babies and living life. She doing Fenty, and that's giving her all the money.
She's doing incredible stuff. So I won't say anything.
She's with the 21 Savage, I think, that my kids know. I don't know what he make, but he a rapper. I don't know what kind of music he make, but he a rapper.
I think this is really important to understand Charisse the person, since what you do is understand people who come in. But I do want to know, if you could trade jobs for a day with anyone in the museum, who would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. I got two people. I would either do Erica Wainwright or Jill Berkmeyer. I don't like neither one of their jobs that much, but...
So Erica manages our
exhibits.
Our featured exhibitions, installation, logistics, all that really incredible stuff. And Jill Berkmeyer is our chief financial officer, and also manages HR and public safety engineering, all that good stuff. So, but you don't even like Erica's job.
Well, she does a lot of heavy lifting.
Erica is also an alumni in my era at the box office. Did you?
I hired Erica. Yep.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna put you on blast for this. I talked to Erica recently. We said, yeah, we worked in the box office together, and she goes, you know what's funny? Charisse never told me like when my first day was. I just got a phone call that was like, hey, are you coming in today?
I literally was like, I thought I told her, like, you can come in on this day. But apparently I said that in my brain. Because she said she never, heard. And I was like, I went on maternity leave, so I wasn't even there. And I was like, oh, my God. But when you called me and was like, she did not show up for her first day, I was like, what? I was like, no. Did you call her? And apparently you called her, and she said I never told her. But, yeah. It all worked out in the end. Being pregnant, that'll do it to your brain. You don't know what is happening. Sometimes your brain is before your mouth. And so you're like, yeah, I said that. Didn't even say it. Didn't even tell her. So I take that, but... So
you like Erica's job because she lifts...
She does heavy lifting, and I have helped her install, some things or tear down some things. She gives me very limited, she knows my capabilities. So she only gives me limited things to do, but I've paint and, done some breaking down of exhibits and things like that. But, she's in charge, and I feel like all the other stuff that I didn't get to do, but I could just watch it unfold. I would want to experience that. Seeing her tell the trucks come in, do this, now we gonna unload this way. Just working with the guys, that's a crew that I don't see often. I only see them in the break rooms, beginning of the day. So, just being down there, seeing them in their element and all the stuff that they do, feel like it's a good time.
Everyone wants to hang out with the exhibits team.
They real chill.
Usually the gist. It's
real chill, no dramas, laid back. And then for Jill, she bosses people around, and I like to be nosy, so I would love to just do that.
You want to boss people around and be nosy.
Boss people around and be nosy.
To be fair, she is responsible for the finances, so she's often kind of poking around and be like, hey, what's this bill for?
Exactly. I'd just be like, I think I would find out things that I didn't even know we had to pay for, that I'd be like, ooh, that's interesting. Why are we doing that? But, it'll be a good time.
I mean, I got an invoice once for forklift training, and I said, that's not mine, but can I do it? Can I do forklift training? Like, oh, sorry, wrong person. But
I seen that email too. I was like, what is this?
You never think, these are the bills that we pay.
Yep. I got that too, but I knew it wasn't for me.
So you want to boss people around and hang out.
Basically.
And listen to twerk radio.
Basically. That's the life. So
at Layers or at Off the Rails at our 21 and Up event, I think we need to give you a DJ set.
Did you see my karaoke session?
No. What song did you do?
I did I Want to Be Rich. I absolutely did. And Jenna was my hype man. Okay.
Oh, Mitch has
it on tape. Yeah, Jimmy. That's also one of my favorite songs.
I Want to Be Rich, is that
it's like an old,
but who
old
is that?
Song.
It's not Color Me Bad, is it?
No. It's not Bob Marley, but it's got Bob Marley vibes a little bit. Because I do like Don't Worry, Be Happy too.
Yeah.
And that's a Bob Marley. But I can't think of who sings that song. They was a one-hit wonder. That's for sure.
Like Milli Vanilli?
Something like that.
I love Milli Vanilli. Just because anytime I send an email and it rains, and I can use the Milli Vanilli gif. Jill loves it too. I do it just for her now.
See, so if you come by my desk, like I got Jenna loving that song now too, so she'll be singing that too.
I want money, or I want
to be rich.
I want to be rich. Yeah.
I say
I want money
that.
as the like chorus.
Yeah, I say that quote like a lot. I said it so much that one of the staff people gave me a button that says I want to be rich, and I had put it on my lanyard.
Will you freestyle some of it for us?
Sure. It goes, I want money, lots and lots of money. I want the pie in the sky.
That's dead on. I love that you did it too.
I mean, I sing it like often, so it's fine. And it's just like it's a jingle, so it's like, so I just do that sometimes, and people will be like, I want to be rich. And I'm like, that's right. So my coworker Alex said he's going to make me a playlist of all the songs about money, about so how I can get rich. So one of them is Rihanna's You Better Have My Money.
Yeah.
That is one. But he's going to also put this on there too. And I was like, all right.
See, this just goes with the Jill Berkemeyer theme.
Exactly. See?
you just want to know where the money goes.
Right.
You want to be CFO. When we were doing construction, when we were doing the restoration of the building, for some reason, I don't know why, she let someone decorate her hard hat.
Ooh, who did that?
I don't remember, but I talked her into letting us write Dollar Dollar Jills on it.
Oh my goodness. Did she wear it?
Yes, she wore it. She wore the hard hat that said Dollar Dollar Jills, y'all.
You should have put some rhinestones on it. Be dazzling. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Be dazzling.
Charisse,
been fine.
Charisse, this is awesome. Thank you so much for spending time with us. See, it's so much easier than you thought it would be.
I know. I was getting nervous. I was like, oh, this is not going to be fun. People going to be like, don't put her back on the podcast.
I might say that because my stomach just now stopped hurting from taking a bare spoonful of hot sauce. Yeah, it was messing me up.
Oh, jeez.
I
had been forgot about that hot sauce.
Mitch had to edit out like 7 hiccups. Thank you all for listening to Meanwhile at the Museum. Remember, if you like what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe. But more importantly, come see for yourself. Visit cincymuseum.org to see the latest reasons to visit. If you have any questions, comments, or just want to tell us how much you love the show, send us an email at meanwhile@cincymuseum.org. Thanks for listening.